Hello guys, I'm your host William, and today we're going to talk about the American slasher movie Smiley, which came out in 2012. At the start of the movie, a girl is seen lying on a bed and talking on her cell phone. Using a scary mask, a little girl scares her, and then she goes to her computer and starts talking to someone. It turns out that the older one is taking care of the younger one. When the babysitter asks who the girl is talking to, the girl tells her that she is on an online chat site called Hide and Go Chat, where people from all over the world can talk to each other without giving their names. The babysitter tells the girl that she shouldn't use these sites. The girl then tells her the urban legend about Smiley, a serial killer who hurt himself by stitching his eyes shut and carving his mouth into an.
And what? With the knife appears behind them.
She tells her that if the person on the other end of the chat writes "I did it for the lols" 3 times, Smiley will show up behind her at her house and kill her. Later, the babysitter uses Hide and Go Chat to talk online. There, they talk, and she meets a guy with glasses. The message is typed by him. "I did it for the price of a lol." So, Smiley comes up behind her with a knife and stabs her in the back, killing her right away. Ashley, a college student, is taken to her new school by her. Inside, Ashley meets her new roommate, Proxy. She comforts him and tells him she'll be fine before saying goodbye and walking away. Ashley is invited to a new party by Proxy, who tells her about it. Ashley decides to go to the party and is happy to accept her invitation. Ashley meets teenagers, Zane and Mark. Proxy sees a guy who looks like a nerd and tells Ashley that he is Binder, a guy who goes to their college. Then she tells Ashley to go see him. Zane and his friends walk in on them while Ashley is talking to him. He asks Binder Pedo Bear what he's doing there by calling him. When the party mob finds out that Binder is Pedo Bear, they all pick on him and make him feel bad, which forces him to do it. Ashley asks Proxy what Binder and Pedo Bear were up to. She is told that Binder got this name because he told the board about some wrong things. Proxy agrees that some of the things are wrong, but it's not a good idea to say that. The next day, when Ashley wakes up, she finds out she's late for class when she gets there. While her professor is talking, Professor Clayton asks why she has to go to this particular lecture. The girl next to her is asked if she has a pen by a classmate. After taking the pen, he says, "You smell better than I do," which makes the girl laugh. The professor turns his attention to the noise and asks the boy, who says his name is Mark, what's going on. The professor tells Mark that he needs to answer the question that he cut off. Mark says hesitantly that they have to take the class, which makes the whole class laugh out loud. Ashley then gives the right answer, and the class goes on. Ashley stops the teacher in the hallway after class to say she's sorry for being late. She then asks him if she could get all of the assignments for the current semester ahead of time because she likes to be prepared. The professor tells her that the assignments are on the website and that she should learn to calm down now that she's in. When Ashley gets back from college and goes to her room, she is met by Proxy. Ashley tells her that she is still drunk from the night before and can't think straight. Proxy tells Ashley that she did a lot of crazy things when she was drunk. Ashley is very embarrassed, but Proxy makes her feel better by telling her that the students will be talking about another video on the internet and won't even notice what Ashley is doing. The popular video, which shows a boy sitting in front of is played by her Proxy. He is trying to read something written on his cheek when Smiley comes up behind him and stabs him under the chin, killing him. Ashley doesn't understand the video. She asks Proxy if the boy is really dead, but he says there's no way to know because no one knows who he was and he hasn't been online since. Ashley thinks about calling the police, but Proxy tells her not to because they don't know anything about the boy. She tells him that they have no idea who he is. Do they really know if he died? After some arguing, they decide that the video must be fake because someone couldn't just show up out of nowhere and kill someone. If they think the story isn't true, they agree to try it for themselves. They start looking for someone to try it on and pick a candidate. They write the message after going through a few people. "I did it to keep the chat from getting too quiet." After a few seconds, Smiley actually kills the guy on the other side. Both of the girls are very upset that someone was killed so quickly. Ashley starts crying and blaming herself for the guy's death. Proxy tries to calm her down and convinces her to keep this a secret. Just then, Ashley's dad calls her on the phone. While Ashley talks to her dad, Proxy watches her to make sure she doesn't say anything she shouldn't. Ashley tells Proxy that she won't tell anyone after she hangs up the phone. Ashley still feels bad about what she did the next day at college. She goes to the library, where she runs into. They start talking and then give each other their phone numbers. When Ashley gets to her dorm, Proxy comes out all dressed up and tells her that they're going to a party at Z's. Ashley spills her drink by accident, but Proxy tells her not to worry because they're getting free drinks and gets her a new cup. She then goes to the bathroom, leaving Ashley behind. Ashley sees Zane and Mark in the crowd. She walks up to them and tries to talk, but Zane puts her down with a made-up story. Ashley brushes it off and talks about a friend whose murder was caught on video and went viral online. Zane and his friends laugh it off and say he's probably playing a joke on them. Ashley asks them if they've seen him, but they say they haven't. She says that it might be true, but the boys laugh at her and leave, leaving only Zane with her. Zane pulls her away from the crowd and brings her outside to the pool so they can talk. Secker, when he asks what she saw, Ashley tells him that she watched the video. Zane tries to find out if she did it herself, but she doesn't say yes. Zane admits that he did, and a kid died because of it. Ashley is so upset by this that she throws up. She says she has to go home. Zane invites her to spend the night or give her a ride home, but she turns him down and starts walking home with her head spinning. Inebriated and scared, she keeps walking towards her house. Behind her, she hears something. She looks behind her, but she doesn't see anything. Smiley is standing in front of her with a knife when she turns around again. She runs as fast as she can to get to her dorm. She quickly walks in and shuts the door, but she was horrified to find that Smiley was already inside the house. He tries to grab her, but instead gets her shirt, which he rips in the process. She tries to get in, but all the doors are locked. Smiley goes after her, and she wakes up screaming in her bed, rushes into the room and asks if she's all right. Ashley tries to tell her that Smiley took her, but Proxy tells her not to worry. She must have dreamed about the worry. Proxy asks Ashley if she takes any medicine for her mental health. Ashley says no, but then she says not anymore. Later that day, Ashley goes to see a psychiatrist. The doctor gives her medicine to help with her anxiety. Ashley meets up with Proxy after she leaves the psychiatrist's office and goes to Z's. Ashley learns that Zane is a hacker there. Ashley talks Zane into thinking that Smiley might be a bad spirit. In her next class, while her teacher is talking about supernatural things, Ashley freaks out when she finds a drawing of a smiley face in her notebook. As soon as her professor speaks to her, she rips out the drawing and throws it away. After class, she asks her professor if she can talk to him for a minute about these supernatural things. He says he's in a hurry and leaves while she's alone in the computer lab doing research. Binder scares the hell out of her, walks up to her, looks at her computer, and asks her what she's doing. They talk about Smiley in the end. Ashley tells Binder that she killed someone, which seems to surprise him. He tells her that he also tried but couldn't do it. Ashley tells him that, because of her Smiley nightmares, for it to really happen, you have to want them to die. Ashley can't fall asleep, so she looks at Hyde and go chat after a few people. At the other end, Ashley finds Smiley. She tries to find out what Smiley is, but he won't tell her and starts to scare her. Instead, Proxy appears behind Ashley and tells her that she can no longer be involved. Ashley, on the other hand, can't seem to get rid of Smiley. While she was sitting in the library, she would sometimes hear voices that made her feel like she was going crazy. She gets so mad by the voices that she breaks her laptop by banging it on the table over and over again. She gets angry and yells at the people who are looking at her. She is so upset that she starts to think that Smiley is real and is coming after her. She goes to tell the police what's going on. When the officer at the station hears her story, he doesn't believe her, as predicted by Proxy, and starts to think she's crazy. The officer just tells her to go see a psychiatrist and won't write the report. Ashley goes to see a psychiatrist because she is so crazy. This time, the psychiatrist gives her something to help her sleep later that day. Ashley is going to see Binder. Binder gives Ashley his old laptop, which he says is in great shape. They end up kissing, but Proxy comes into the room soon after and Binder leaves. Proxy tells Ashley that she is going to spend some time with her parents to get away from everything that has been going on. Ashley tells Proxy to go out and have fun, telling her that she'll be fine. Before Proxy leaves at night, they give each other hugs and say goodbye. Ashley gets a video call from Proxy, who tells her that Zane isn't answering his phone. At first, they think he might be hooking up with a girl, but then they start to freak out because they think Smiley could have gotten. Proxy thinks about calling the police, but Ashley thinks it's a bad idea because of what happened before. Ashley tells Proxy that she will take Binder with her and check on Zane. Proxy agrees to let her go with Binder, which still tells her to be careful. Ashley goes to Zane's house, where she knocks on the door and calls his name. When she knocks again, she sees that the door isn't locked, so she just walks right in. There's music playing, and it's quiet. Ashley picks up a torch that was on the floor and starts looking around. It looks like the place is in bad shape. Ashley walks into the room with the computer and sees Zane covered in blood on the computer screen while they are both lying on the floor. Ashley sees Smiley wave at her. Ashley picks up the monitor and throws it on the floor because she is angry. She picks up the gun from the ground and runs away while walking toward her house. Ashley calls the police officer she told about the serial killer. When the officer answers the phone, the line goes dead. Ashley goes back inside and tells Proxy that Zane has died. Ashley tells Proxy not to call 911 and tells Proxy to pick up the phone. I did it to pass the time. Someone walks up to the door after a few minutes, and Ashley points the gun at them. When the door opens, Ashley shoots the person and then falls down in front of the door. When she goes over there, she finds that she shot Binder by accident. She sits next to him and cries, telling him that everything will be okay. But then Smiley shows up and cuts Binder's throat. After seeing this, Ashley runs into the house and shuts the door behind her as she goes to her room. She is holding the gun and standing in front of the door. Behind her, Smiley shows up. She tries to shoot at him, but the gun won't work. The door then opens, letting in more Smileys. No longer able to handle the fear and pain, Ashley goes through the window by jumping. She hits the ground hard and breaks her neck. She dies right there. All of the Smileys take off their masks to show who faked their deaths. This includes the babysitter, Zane, Mark, and even Binder. They start talking about Smiley, who will be the first online serial killer and won't be forgotten. Binder says that everyone should leave, and everyone does. For Zane, who is in a conversation with Proxy, Zane is asked by Proxy, "Why did we do that?" As a response, Zane types, "I did it to pass the time." Thrace is a joke, but Smiley comes out from behind Proxy and stabs her in the eye, killing her right away. He then waves at the computer screen and shuts it down. This is the end of the movie. We really appreciate you watching.